welcome to another episode of The Girls Want to Know.
Yes.
I am one of your hosts, Alicia. This is your other host,
Fatima Talia.
What have you been up to today, boo?
Today was good. It was a progressive day. It's Monday, so I went to the gym.
Yes.
And
Never miss a Monday.
Never miss a Monday morning early. I got there early today too, which was great. And then I do therapy every Monday.
I love that for you.
So, although sometimes I think my therapist, I don't be knowing, like, is he listening? Like,
You got a man therapist?
I do.
Is he black?
He's Arabic.
Okay, girl.
I decided, you know what, at first, I decided, you know what, because at first I was like, I've had women before, and I was like, what if I do a male and like see if there's a different vibe, but
do you feel
it's the same.
It's the same?
It's the same.
Okay. I definitely specifically searched for a black woman.
I have. That has been hard.
Okay. That's
easy.
fair because there weren't a lot of options when I looked. I honestly lucked out.
Low key, I was like, ain't no black people out here trying to help us stay sane. Look at us. We can play basketball, but we ain't going.
No, there are a ton, I think, but I think it's people who are covered by certain insurances. Like
that, and in LA, there's a huge wait list.
Yeah.
Because we ain't doing good out here.
Everybody's trying to heal, which actually brings us to our topic for the day. We are
but you got to tell us about what you've been up to. How was your day?
Oh, you know what have I been up to? I actually just had my last therapy session the other day. Yeah. Because I switched insurance. So it's because the insurance switches. So I switched to new insurance. That was a lot of emotion that I was not ready for. Like my sister asked me a couple weeks ago, she's like, have you thought about what it's going to look like not to be going to your therapist every week?
Yeah.
And I'm like, I know, but I don't really have the like bandwidth to process that right now.
Yeah.
And then I had to process it because it rolled up on me.
Mm.
Yeah. But we good though. We're ready. It's just,
you know what's wild? I feel like when I don't have a therapist, I'm going crazy. But then when I get one, I'm like, I don't feel like this shit today. Like, that'd be me. Like every Monday, like low key, sometimes he be calling me like, so you trying to talk about your feelings or?
But I think it's just hard. Like therapy is really exhausting.
And I think sometimes and I don't usually want to talk unless there's something going on.
So for me, I'll probably, because I feel like there's always something simmering in the background. Mm-hmm. Like I got an A roll and a B roll on my brain. And the A roll is like the hyperfunction stuff, the shit you have to get done Monday through Friday.
Right.
Monday through Sunday, basically. Mm-hmm. And then the B roll is all of the like looming dread that I have to deal with. Really? Like the things that I'm not looking forward to. And I typically always have something to present.
The gym usually helps that for me. I think that's what keeps me
sane.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to definitely have to find a way to streamline the process because I don't have a therapist right now.
Yeah.
I'm just out here like free falling.
Sometimes you kind of need that in a way so you can kind of see how to like take care of yourself by yourself.
You and trust have your own voice. Yeah.
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 But then,
so what are we talking about today, girl?
We're talking about healing. Mm-hmm. Healing and understanding when to walk away.
It's so essential.
It's so essential.
Major key alert, guys.
Wait, what was the name of this episode is?
Know when to fold them.
Know when to hold them. No.
Know when to walk away.
I think that's so important because I feel like you see this so much now with like our generation. I think Gen Z is really pushing it more.
They really, baby. Yeah. Gen Z be like, you don't got this salary in this.
Gen Z be like, I'm driving Uber.
In this
get on my level. What? Like,
get off my phone. What's the salary?
Yeah.
Too low. Goodbye. Like they do. They are the walk away generation. I love that for them.
I see it so much on TikTok. Yeah. People being like, I worked at this job for like a week 30 minutes. And they told me that I had to like take a break for only this amount of time. I clocked out and said, thank you for having me. You like, not like, politely leave.
They're like, this environment is oppressive.
Too much.
I'm gonna leave.
Yeah,
I love that for them.
I think it's great.
Yeah, I think we're starting to do that. What are we, the millennials?
We are the millennials.
Okay, so the millennials are starting to do that. I think in the sense that we're leaving our jobs, but it took us way longer to make the decision.
I think it's just because the generations is different.
It's a generation thing because our parents stayed at their jobs until they retired and they were miserable.
Literally,
from the moment they clocked in until 60 years later or however long they worked. Do you got to work for 60 years? I don't think so.
I don't know, 30? But I always find it like really interesting when, like, for example, you said you worked at your job for 11 years.
Yeah. That was a really long time.
Girl, I'll barely be 1 year at a place. I'll be like, that was an experience.
That was a really long time. Like Yeah, that's a huge commitment. That's like longer than most people's marriages. Yeah, but
Girl,
yeah.
listen. Well, but
Yeah.
no, I think the healing process is making it easier for me to walk away from stuff.
It does, because I think once you start to really connect with your peace, it's just kind of like, ooh, this is prickly. I don't want to deal with this.
Immediately, you're like, enough.
You just know. Yeah. Your brain is like, I'm getting a little anxiety, and you're stage left.
Yeah. And I think that's a lot of us realized that during pandemic. Pandemic was so peaceful, and you got so zen with yourself that you like, now I'm not doing people that don't work with my energy.
Yes.
I'm not doing jobs that about to make me feel sad. And relationships, I could eat and watch TV alone.
I just can't. Like, get somebody else to do it.
What did Miley Cyrus say? I could buy myself flowers.
Literally.
I could paint my own name in the sand.
I need it.
I don't need it.
Yeah. What do you feel like is the last like big decision, big thing that you had to walk away from?
Man, it took me a while. Because you know what? I was just having this conversation with my therapist today, and I was on the verge of tears because I was like, I don't think I know when enough is enough.
Yeah.
The way that I was raised and what I saw and the way that I saw it growing up, some of it is just I overthink and question my like, oh, should I walk away, or is this normal, or
invalidate your own feelings,
right? Or is this the way they show love? Should I be judging that, or is this? Am I being too, dramatic over a situation? I'm so bad at that. Like for years,
yeah.
Even now, I'm like,
we just invalidate our own feelings all the time.
Yeah, and I think that the way that I was raised and the environment that I came out of, like I'm learning that like I don't know the difference between what is and isn't toxic. And that's something that I'm still trying to like learn. But like through my healing process, now there's this alert that goes off inside of me that tells me now. Yeah. Instead of me being like, this isn't good, you should leave. There's something alarming in my like spirit.
Physical body,
that I can just feel. Yeah. And then it happened to me recently where I was like, this is new. Because usually when I used to have those feelings, I used to panic. Yeah. And then start crying. And then start being like, why do I feel this way? Or why is this job not working? Or why is this relationship not working? Or why is this friendship? Now, when I feel it in my gut and it's not working, I just be like, dead ass at ease. Okay. A bitch be like, time
to go. Yeah.
Well.
That was fun.
Anyway, but that was real. So new for me the other day that happened. And it was like uncomfortable almost for me that I had a conversation with my therapist about it today, that I was like, I started crying because I was like, ooh, look at you like figuring that out. Growth. Right. Growth. It was. But after you really heal, I think for me too, in order for me to heal, it took a lot of like really, really, really dark times.
Girl.
Like you gotta be drugged through the mud.
You really do. So I actually have a tattoo that says "Let go or be dragged." Ooh. Because I'm a ruminator. I will think things over a million different ways, a trillion different scenarios, a gajillion different ways that I should have responded differently, and I am very hard on myself when I don't live up to my very impossible expectations. And so the last really big thing that I had to let go was my job. And it got to the point where, I always know, I feel like the universe is always telling you when it's time to let something go. If I'm anxious all the time, like the moment I wake up until I go to sleep, it's time for me to let something go. Something big. It doesn't matter, like, if I don't know what it is yet. When I'm having anxiety morning to night, that means that something in my life is off. And with my job, I would wake up, I would be so anxious when I woke up. I would literally sit in my car and cry for like 30 minutes before I
That's
went
like
to
the norm now. People be outside.
Baby!
That's why I be nice in Starbucks now. She could have been in her car crying before this coffee.
People really be going through it. Yeah. My clients would every once in a while, a client would this was towards the end, they would bring me a gift card with coffee. And it would literally just make me burst into tears because I was just in such a struggle place. Yeah. And so I really had to say, okay.
Struggle place.
It's a struggle place. It's not sustainable though. No. And I think a lot of times people, our parents' generation, they would push through that and just go until they retired or get another job. And for us, it's just kind of like, okay, what else can I do? Because the outcome feels like it's going to be pretty similar no matter what job you're going to, unless you're doing something that you actually want to be doing. Yeah. Because the expectations are only growing from these corporations. The client is getting more demanding. The stress is more pervasive. what is the option? I cannot keep doing this.
I think for me, what made me really clear, like, because healing for me, I don't think I would have done it if I would have stayed like in Chicago or stayed around my same amount of family. I think leaving and kind of seeing a different perspective of life and other people's worlds and just going through trials and tribulations by myself really helped me heal, because my healing is so interesting. I feel like I was a certain version of myself that I wasn't aware of.
Yeah.
Because my family wasn't gonna be like, this is what's happening with you. This is
hard
you.
to reflect. Yeah.
Yeah. But then when I got to LA and, relationship fails and friendship fails, and there was a point where I kept getting fired. Like I every restaurant job I would get in LA, I would keep getting fired. And it never dawned on me like, bitch, it might be you.
But then you kind of like, maybe I'm the drama.
I
might be the drama.
And not only was it that, it was like, why you keep knocking on this door that ain't for you?
Yeah.
The universe literally is trying to tell you, you don't need to be in this environment. But you keep being so holding on to this is what you want it to be, that you just keep doing this and then be whining and crying that it ain't the vibe. Like, they trying to tell you. But like, I had a lot of bumping my head consistently before it was like, oh, light bulb, but the same thing happened to me a lot with like relationships. Like, I would chase after the same type of guy and keep getting the same results, and then keep being like, well, why is this happening? Or what am I doing wrong? It was that thing.
I feel like we talked about this on the last episode, where you just kind of have to keep learning the lesson over and over again until you get it.
But it was also a self-esteem thing for me.
It is.
If I wasn't healed, I would allow those things to keep happening. When you, like, I have a very prominent moment of I knew I was like healed from that version of myself. Like, there's still always going to be, like, you're always going to have to heal. But like, there's always something to like overcome. But I remember I was dating this guy, and he was off the chain, but he was fine. He was off the chain, and
it was a week concessions for a beautiful man.
Also, I had this bad idea of what I thought a relation was supposed to be, which I'm still working on. But like, there was just this one day that I was like, you know what? This don't look good on you.
Good.
And all this crying and looking a mess for 1 week, and then the next week you back in the gym and you tight, and he come back and like ruin you again, and you do that with him and like
put me together to throw me against the wall.
You know what I'm saying? Like, right. So like, I had this moment where I was just like, you don't deserve that. Yeah. And I think what really made me heal was, 'cause I used to always like think I did something wrong. Like, that was like, I'm the type of person I was programmed where I was always like, okay, what could I have done different for this scenario to go this way? And that was with jobs and men. It was like, even when I was getting fired, I'd be like, well, what can I...
But like, I feel like the ego comes in and says, well, I'll be able to do it different this time. And I'll be able to attract this guy this time because I know the rules. When you just need to like accept that it's not for you.
It wasn't. Yeah. And when I did that and was just like, you know what, just focus on you and this. It seemed like all the men flooded in. And then when I was like, you know what, I'm not doing restaurants anymore. Yeah. And then it was just like other opportunities would come in that I didn't think I could get. Yeah. But it was like, I had to have my self-esteem needed to heal for me to believe that I could get those things.
You have to, actually guess that kind of segues us to our next like topic of letting go of what you thought it would look like, but also letting go of what you hope it would look like. Yeah. Because a lot of the anxiety I think that we experience comes from things that we want to go a certain way and they don't. And then we keep trying to force it and like remodel and reshape when truthfully, this thing that you want so bad is possibly not for you. And maybe it's not for you. Not for you, period. Maybe it's just not for you right now. But you have to let go of the mindset of I need it my way and just kind of become fluid. Yeah. Because when you become fluid, you really start to open up the door for what is possible.
I mean, I think that's easy for some people. For me, it wasn't because of the perception of what I wanted my career to look like.
It's a healed behavior.
I was a controlling bitch with my goal setting. Like, since, I mean, because I've been at this before I got to LA. Like, even in Chicago, I'd be like, okay, by this year, I'm gonna be like this. I got to LA and it was just like, lesson after lesson after lesson. They was like,
yeah.
no.
And the thing is, whenever you make like okay, we're doing this at this time and this at this time and this at that, you just can't control all the factors.
Yeah.
And so what ends up happening is you're like 3 months behind on a goal an impossible goal that you set for yourself.
Yeah.
And then you're beating yourself up. You're not giving yourself any grace. You're very like punitive in the way that you talk about yourself in your head.
Right.
As opposed to just like saying, okay, this didn't go the way that I thought it was going to go. Let me take a deep breath.
Yeah.
And my sister always, she used to say this to me a couple years ago when I was like making a big life change, recalibrate.
Yeah, but you know what's wild about calibrating is like you'll do that and then you be like, well then what's the plan? I'm just out here. Am I like
free falling?
Like
what I'm doing without my therapist.
Like it's hard though.
It's hard.
Because if you like, for me now, it's like my mom's always like, it's getting on my nerves, but she's like, I'm 72 years old.
I know, baby.
I've been through life. So I know. I didn't. And you know, my mom, she'd be real quick like, a nigga always a nigga. Like the black mom quotes be turned.
Yeah.
To the point where you be like, I guess I should never try to be married.
Yeah.
But I wanted, like, there was a part of my mindset where I was like, I want to be stable in my career in LA. I want a family. I want a husband. I want a normal life.
Yeah.
And then when that is not currently going to plan, like, you're like, well, what is it? And then you in your apartment screaming at God like, nigga, what's the plan?
Did you not see the letter I wrote you when I was 14? Hello.
It's hard.
It really is.
But like, it does work when you have this like stillness of being like, all right, well, fuck it. I'm going to just go ahead and slide to the gym and, hopefully
get on this walk with this dog.
But that's the hard part, I think.
Yeah.
When you do heal and you do come to terms with what your life is and what your path is, it does feel strange. Like that's something that people don't tell you through the healing process. It don't be easy. The healing process be real ugly.
So
real ugly. It's like the Gremlins. Don't eat after midnight, bitch.
Like, don't turn on the lights.
Don't. Was it lights on them? They be like, man, like
it's real crusty, the healing process.
It's so ugly.
I've literally gotten in the car a couple times and just like bawled my eyes out. Or something else that I started doing, because we were doing EMDR therapy, which is eye movement desensitization. I don't remember what the R is for. Okay. But basically it helps you like detach from traumatic memories.
Ooh.
So basically,
that's what I probably need, bitch.
Everybody, if you have like a
triggered
lot of trauma,
out here.
Yeah, this is like triggered. A really good. Like, it's rough though.
Oh, I be like,
this is the roughest part of therapy because you're literally reliving, but you detach the emotions from it. That's the thing. So you gotta go through this like fucking hellish graveyard of emotions that you've been like keeping locked up.
You had like a couple years of that where you like, this is some bull.
No, so I only been doing it we started doing
I'm just
it last
saying
year.
Like through your healing process, somehow you feel like it's just you and you in this bogus ass
break. Like I've been in a fucking tumble dryer for 5 years.
And then you like, is that what you doing here? And you gotta relive that whole.
Now I'm at the lit part though, and I'll take these last couple years over and over again because the part I'm at now is my favorite part that I've ever been at.
Okay. I like the part that I'm at. I just think I don't know what this version will be called, but I'm at the space where it's like I'm aware of all the shit that I learned, but now I'm like, oh, nigga, it's the test. Do I do A or B? Like
you like looking at your hand trying to cheat.
I asked my therapist today. I was like, sometimes I'm like, I don't know if my intuition's just too good now or if I'm just freaked out. And he didn't give me a good enough answer, I don't think.
Well, what do you mean? Like, say more.
Because I was like, okay, sometimes I pick up things and I'm like, my gut will be like,
yeah.
You exit, you got to ride out. Like, or stop, just distance yourself from this.
Yeah.
And then there's another part of my brain will be like, girl, you just freaking out because this reminds you of boom, boom, boom. And then I'll be like, oh no, which one is it? And then it'll be like, how to be a millionaire. And I'm like, standing there like, do I phone it in? Like,
I just feel like the body knows. If your body has like a physical reaction to something and it's not a good reaction, I always just trust the body. But I also just think anything that is like meant for you, you're not gonna be able to pass it up because you had anxiety about it. Like it's just gonna spin the block and come back and get you. Like,
That's true.
yeah, I don't think you miss out on things that you're supposed to have that are like ordained for you because you have anxiety. It just kind of levels out at some point and it finds you.
Yeah.
But if your body is reacting to something and you're kind of questioning whether you should do it or not, I'm always a no on that.
Yeah.
Like, I just feel like, fuck it. Because the worst thing that's going to happen is you're going to go home and be alive. That's great.
Yeah.
Like, don't worry about it.
Yeah. I had some stuff this week that I was just like, ooh.
Yeah.
My body is like,
Yeah.
But then I'm like, but what if, and like, I don't know. Healing is so hard. I went through like my first introduction to healing was like, I definitely wasn't in the mind frame of being still. I think I fought against it a lot. Like the healing needed to happen. Like, but I fought against it. And the more that I fought against it, the more my life was a tragedy. And it was just like, but
that's the real deal though. That's how it always is.
But like when you come out, like coming out of like pure healing, like have you ever come out of it and then people be like, damn, you look amazing. Like your skin,
Girl.
like you gonna look like you was in a fight though.
That you go
like you are. I've seen old pictures of me in the midst of healing. You like, was you sleeping at all?
Did I show you? I feel like I showed somebody recently a picture of me from like 6 years ago.
You showed me.
I just am a completely different person.
Yeah.
Like literally a completely different person. It's pretty unrecognizable. But I also think that healing is, I was kind of explaining this to my therapist the other day. My last session.
Oh. That's gotta be hard though.
Girl, like for real.
How many years?
I was with her since 2016.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So we've been together for a really long time. And I think the interesting thing about, like, everybody always talks about, oh, release your job. Like, yes, fuck that job. But also, there is a huge grieving process that comes with that, where you're grieving the routine, you're grieving the structure, you're grieving the people that you interacted with every day, you're grieving losing access to your health insurance. You're losing access to your healthcare providers. And so this woman that I have seen pretty much once a week for the most part for almost 7 years, like that's a lot. Yeah. And so I do feel ready for this next journey to like trust my own voice and to go out and be great. And I'm thankful because I had a therapist who was just like, if you need me, you call me. Like I'm still available on the text, on the phone, whatever it is.
Right.
I love that. I love her. She's amazing. But I also just think that there is a huge cost to walking away from stuff. And you need to, it's necessary, but you really lose things. Like you grieve what you lose.
You do.
Yeah. So I was telling her in the therapy session, I feel like I'm going on forever, but I was telling her in the therapy session that healing is kind of like if you get caught in a riptide, you just have to float. You cannot fight a wave.
But you getting stomped out.
You getting stomped out in these waves. You getting thrown against the rocks. The most that you can do though is try to float and not be killed in the water. Basically though, like the riptide is going to carry you. But that's for real though. True. It's like a mental breakdown. If you keep trying to fight it, you're literally just going to perish. You have to float and it will carry you to the shore eventually. Yeah. Like you got to be fluid. You also
lose so many people.
You do, because people don't be on the same path.
No, healing be like real lonely though, by the way. Like not only are you getting jumped in the graveyard in the dark, you ain't got no homies.
Yo,
so after getting beat up,
you gonna get that girl.
Nobody's there. Like I feel like I lost. Like I had very recent. I had a moment where I was like, "Dang, you are so different." So nothing against this person. Love them, even if they watch this. I went out with someone that I used to kick it with a lot in the past. In my huge party, because my healing process was like a white girl did cocaine or something. Okay. Like man was like, I'm healing, but I'm drunk and my phone died. Like I was a drunk mess.
You need
like,
a white horse. You just,
I mean, I didn't do any white horse, but I would just definitely like sit on a curb somewhere in the hills with the a vape, being like, eh.
Honestly, no judgment though. It'd be like that. It'd be like that.
But I hung out with someone that I knew from that time, and it was so because I was so different. Yeah. And it was weird because they didn't even know who the fuck I was. They were like, they thought we were going to rage. Like they literally were like buying me hella drinks. And I was like, bitch, I'm not drinking this.
Drink all this, girl.
And she was like, let's just slam it. And I was like, no, I'm having one beer.
And the thing is, if she's still living that life, girl, kudos to you. Because the party's fun,
It
right?
was bananas.
But I just can't live my life like this no more. I don't have the energy. Not at this age.
But I felt like weird because I was just like, being in front of someone that used to know who you were and you're a new version. It was like a mirror, like, who the fuck was I?
Yeah.
For her to come back with 2 more drinks and we still have 2 in front of us.
I feel like,
what kind of life was I living?
This happens with men sometimes, where they'll do something and you be like, what was I giving off that made you feel like that was okay?
Literally.
Like, what exactly am I doing? Because I never want to do it again. To make
erase the old version of me for sure.
Yeah.
I never want to run into those people again.
Yes.
I don't want anybody to know that I knew it.
Yes.
That's how I feel about ex-boyfriends.
That is a point of healing though, because it's like a reflection of like, okay, how do I make sure that I do not attract these kind of people going forward?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? I just was saying, but now I'm bananas. I feel like now, first sign of anything, I'm like, delete, get away. Like, I got to figure out the difference. I mean, when is it not like I'm a fuck around and I had no friends, bitch?
No, but I just feel
and
like
be with nobody.
But okay, so this is the thing. There are things that are okay where somebody fucks up and it's not like a crossing a boundary type of fuck up. Where I messed up the time and I'm late, or I am, I forgot to do XYZ, but it doesn't have like necessarily a negative impact. Right. And then there are boundary crossing fuck ups. And those are the kind of fuck ups that I feel like it's okay to say, you know what, I'm good. Especially if it's a boundary that a person knew you had. Yeah. Relationship, platonic, job, whatever. If a person or entity is crossing your boundaries, it is always okay to say, you know, this ain't for me. Yeah. I'm good. Let's peace out though.
Cause I'm learning too, like everybody has their own hangups. And like now it's really, I'm learning like people see things through their own lens. So if you're being bananas, like just say for example, you're at work, or how I have sometimes things going at work and they're like freaking out over something. And I'm like, what version of this story did you see? Cause like where I was, it was regular.
It didn't happen like that.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can't necessarily jump to be like, cancel this bitch and pour champagne on her like this. That's one of my favorite scenes in New Jack City. He was like, cancel this bitch.
Oh my God, New Jack City.
That was like the wildest thing I ever seen when he threw her head down in the thing and poured champagne on her. Like, he said, cancel her and washed her down with champagne.
There was a lot of it. You ever watch movies from the 80s and be like, or early 90s? This shit was so problematic. What did I watch? Trading Places the other day. Oh yeah,
they exploited women terribly.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was bad. I saw that on the plane one time and I was looking at people in the chairs like, are y'all seeing this? Is anybody watching? Because this shit is out of control.
It's out of control. Weird, and the thing is, you be like, okay, let me just see if I can get past these parts. But them parts are the whole movie.
See, we had to heal as a whole world. We had to heal and figure out it wasn't right. To be like, you know what? Just take off your shirt and show us your titties.
Like I'll just throw this woman in the dumpster. How about you not? How about you don't fucking assault me because I don't want to date you?
It's bananas. Speaking of that, though, healing, I think a lot of people need to heal now. I think we're living in a very angry time. Yeah. Have you noticed it like the world, everybody got a cat. Don't nobody want to have friends. They just sit online and be like, you a loser. Like we at home with no friends, a cat. Commenting on the shade room media, being like, that's why your wig.
Yeah, it's very
angry
sad.
Land.
It's sad because I think that, like, specifically to the comments, because I've definitely posted stuff on social media is completely innocuous and gotten just the meanest comments, and I just be like,
people be at home ready to go.
Like,
they can't wait.
Why are you so mad?
And don't even know you.
They don't know me. I don't know you. I have
crazy.
Like, it would be different if I added you, but you literally probably found me through a hashtag and came and commented something crazy on my post. Like,
girl.
We definitely are in a time where I think people are just very overly frustrated. Yeah. Because we're poor and uninsured, or if we have insurance, we're paying out of the ass for it, and we're not like building any wealth because the houses are too expensive.
But we all influencers.
I mean, this is the only way to go.
The whole world is like videotaping themselves.
Like, what is the other option? The other option is clocking in for somebody who's going to pay you less than what you are worth, who is going to infringe upon your mental health, sometimes your physical health, who is going to make you miserable for minimum 20 hours a week. Like, everybody got to be what they want to be at this point. Like, I'm totally... People be like, nobody wants to go to work. Yeah, I wouldn't want to go to work either. I didn't. I was tired. So I totally get it.
Oprah said something about standing still on, I forget what it was, but she was saying something about like, sometimes when you're trying too hard on certain stuff, you kind of like just Go lay down, take a break, or just leave it alone and like
Yes.
release the energy of it.
Yes.
And then jump back on it the next day or maybe something. And that usually, I think, changes.
It does.
Kind of.
So,
I mean, when your job is whack, though, your job is whack.
Well, then you got to do what Beyonce said and release your job, but just remember that
Beyonce don't need to tell y'all that.
But yeah, that's when you have to like say, okay, this is costing me too much.
Yeah.
It might be time for me to walk away. It's unfortunate, but you really do got to make that decision for yourself because you'll wake up in 15 years and look 20 years older, 30 years older. And you just gonna be sad that you never pursued something that could have made you happier.
That's what people say all the time.
Yeah.
That is I think that's the mental battle I'm going through. Because, you know, even though your mom is like not, you know, she's older, you're like, but you like low key.
Yeah.
She know the tea. She's been married already. She got 2 kids. She already experienced it. She's sitting here watching your TV show. No wonder she like, girl, you ain't gonna work. Like, you know, I would tell her what I would be upset about or what happened at work. She'd be like, well, tomorrow's a new day. And, you know, but that ease is because she's been through it.
Mm-hmm.
And then you see people on interviews on TV and all the time, like artists or, you know, Oprah, other people. And they're always like, you know, they ask them if you can go back and you can have changed anything in your life that you would do different. I think I saw.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody always says, I would worry less.
Yeah.
I would have had more fun.
So this is actually a good time to bring up manifestation, I feel like.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry, not manifestation. It's a part of manifestation.
Yeah.
But meditation.
Yes.
Meditation is such a key of learning how to worry less, but also live more in the moment that you're in.
Yeah.
And people are always like, meditation doesn't work for me. I can't do it. I hate it. You really got to meditate for like 3 or 4 months before you start to feel it.
There are, for people that don't know that are watching, there are different apps you can use to practice because people think meditating is easy. You tell them and then they like, I tried, girl. Then all of a sudden I was frying an egg.
I tried for 2 days and it didn't work. 2 minutes, actually.
Yeah. I started with Headspace because they teach you the process of it. They start you really low. I think like you started like 3 minutes a day. And then they see if you can stay on focus and then they move it to 5. And then if you can get to 10, then you like, oh, I graduated and now I can use YouTube. But it works.
It works. I actually started, I use another app. I use Breathe and
Breathe is good.
Breathe is amazing.
Yeah.
So they do the same thing where you can do like 3 minutes or 5 minutes to just kind of like get you started. But I love Breathe because you can literally type something in. Like you can type in frustration and it'll give you all these different meditations to help you get through frustration.
Yeah.
Which or you can type in like, I don't know, productivity, and it'll give you a meditation on productivity.
What?
Yeah. And so
that's a good one.
That's dope. And they also have like bedtime hypnosis and regular hypnosis. So I actually, because I ruminate, I use and I have OCD. I use the OCD meditation.
Oh, they have OCD meditation?
They have OCD meditation.
They got everything.
Yeah, because I got diagnosed a few months ago and I didn't want to treat it with medication. So I'm like, okay, can I meditate my way out of this? It ain't working all the way, but it's working a little bit.
Like it's working a little bit.
It's a work in progress, okay? Like, but you can make like a playlist of things that you want to listen to while you're going to sleep.
Oh, I do that.
Yeah.
I do that.
Breathe is amazing. Like you make a playlist and say, okay, I want to meditate on eating healthy. I want to meditate on motivation, on OCD, and like pick one more and it'll just play while you're asleep and send you positive affirmations.
See, I have to be in certain spaces. I have a hard time meditating in my house.
Okay.
So like I can only do the night meditation when I'm going to sleep because that's more of a resting state.
Where do you go to meditate though?
I do it at the gym.
Oh.
I go really early and that usually it's not a lot of people there. So they have different rooms in the gym. Sometimes you could do it in the sauna because there's nobody in there.
Lovely though.
Or sometimes I do it, they have like these other little like workout rooms and no one, because the classes hadn't started. So like today there was no one in this one big ass room.
That's
and you
super
do that.
dope though.
And then sometimes people will see that you are meditating and they aren't gonna like be rude. They come in and but early in the morning, that has been work. And then I go from there into my workout.
It's so like, I think the thing is once you get to the point where the meditations are working though, you just feel so accomplished because it's this thing that really helps you streamline your emotions. There's so many times where I have felt literal rage. And I don't have anything, I can't like go box somebody. Like I'm going to have to figure out.
I thought about taking a boxing class.
Like something, because you need to get that aggression out, right? But another good thing that you can do if you have rage is to go scream somewhere in your car, wherever you can, just scream. But I would like lay down and do a meditation on anger.
Yeah.
And it would just help me calm down. And if
I took anger management. Court ordered.
Sometimes you gotta do that, okay? Sometimes not court ordered.
Court ordered. It was one interesting experience, I must say. That that helped the shit out of me though. I'm not gonna lie. It was definitely,
that's one of those real humbling life experiences.
I mean, don't be court ordered, but go. I think people should all like try it. It's more than what you think it is. A lot of people just think it's just let me strictly about anger. It will really like open you up to being like, when I'm even in a conflict with someone, it will teach you the better way to conversate where it doesn't escalate and how you should talk to the other person so that you don't get angry. And she told me when we were done, she was like, there's going to be a point where you're going to be like, when someone's wild, you're going to be like, what? She's like
surprised at your reaction.
No, she's like, you're not even going to be triggered anymore.
Yeah,
after
like surprised at how well you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I love that.
So now like when I'm like, I wouldn't say debating, or like if I'm having a conversation with someone and it's a disagreement, I learned in there that you shouldn't say you. Youing someone makes them feel attacked.
Okay.
So I always go, this makes me feel.
Oh.
And so, but the trigger to this is, now that I know how to have these conversations with people and people still be turning up, I'd be like, they want me to strangle them.
Girl.
See, the class didn't say, they didn't give us that page. They didn't say when we go by the book, they supposed to do the other thing.
Where's the line for this?
Literally,
I don't see it in the script.
Girl, I be having moments where I be like in my head being like, what the? No. After I say that, they supposed to say,
but wait
a minute. Why am I getting angry?
Let me do a hard reboot. Hold on.
I'd be like, so hold on. You got to turn around and be like, and 5, 6, 7. Okay. So, like, what?
Let's start again.
Start back to 1. Like,
girl.
But yeah.
But that's like really good. A good, I think, communication technique that would work for anybody who is not in anger management. Just
it's
because
so
I think, to your point, people do feel naturally, if the conversation is more animated, people can feel attacked. They can feel like they need to be on the defensive. And it's just a lot of times not necessary. But also, I think once you get to the place where you realize that people's behavior don't usually have anything to do with you.
Yes.
Like, that's their own
That is
shit.
one of the things she told us in the class, is she was like, you're going to see once you have this response, how more angry the other person's going to be. She's like, that is a choice they made. So now you're like, I'm not even giving you the fuse for you to be this turnt.
Yeah.
So I don't know. You should probably check in with you. And she was like, with that will be very interesting for you. She was like, because then you're going to start seeing like, oh wow, people are like bananas everywhere.
They're really like
unhinged things like going on out here.
Therapy now.
Yeah. And she was like, that's gonna affect who you're gonna have around you and what it did. And for me, after that class, I definitely was like, oh, now my relationship with my family is different. So the arguments that me and my mom used to be having, where I would be going toe to toe with her and we'll be hanging up and calling each other back and turning up. Now I'm calmly like, no one said that. And she'd be like, I don't know why you like. I would get. She'd be turning up, and I'd be like, "Well, all right, well,
I'm gonna go. I love you so much."
But then it helps us together, because then she'd call me back and be like, "Okay, so I thought about how you said it, and everyone's calm now." Because she like was in the moment, and since I didn't go back with her,
there's less to repair.
Yes.
Like you can recover more quickly.
Yes.
My sister always says to me because I just feel like it's a generational thing. You just argue with your parents because you do. Like if you're evolving and kind of like progressing in a way where you're just trying to be better, I think that a lot of times our parents, or just the older generation in general, because you don't even have to be a parent, you hold on to how you were raised and how you came up 100%. And the environment that you came up in. And so some of the things that worked 25, 30, 40 years ago don't really work now.
Yeah.
And so
that, and I feel like you don't know, there's no rule book to parenting, of course.
There's not.
But like for me, like I realized, I told my therapist this recently, I was like, man, like it was a difference between me and my brother. Not saying I was, raised poorly or differently, but my mom was like, he was a younger one. So he was a little bit like more coddled a little bit, other than like versus me. For me, it was always, you got to be strong, you got to do this, do that. And then I realized that coming out of life, my brother is more independent than me because he received more
soft life.
Yeah. And then now I'm outside dying for people to love me.
Oh, mom.
Like,
Dad.
well, it's not her like fault, but it's just like, that's how I I noticed that's how I was moving in my attachment style with relationships. Like, I'm literally not dying for anyone to love me now, but I'm just saying, there was a point where I'd be like,
wounds.
please just like, and it would be like, because I hadn't experienced it.
Yeah.
I hadn't experienced someone being like, that was good. Here's a hug. Instead, it was always like, keep being like, I came up in
the strength. You gotta have the strength.
Yeah.
So I was actually having this conversation with a friend recently where she and I were saying that when she has 2 kids, and we were both agreed that like we want to raise our kids in an environment where it's just soft. Yeah. Like, I'm gonna discipline you and let you know when you're wrong, but you're not gonna get the wrath in this house. When you in this house, you getting love and hugs and reinforcement and redirection. Like, legitimately, what is it called? Soft parenting or whatever? I don't know if that's what it's called.
I just said this on TikTok and I didn't think it was gonna get these many people being like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I said on there, I was like, yo, can we normalize Black parents letting their kids have feelings?
But I think it is very normal at this point. This generation is raising kids right now is much more compassionate, I think. But I also think it has to do with the fact that our parents had to send us out strong. Yeah. Because when you go out into the world, you're Black, you're a woman, you have to be aware, unfortunately, of so many different things.
You do.
So I think our parents were trying to get us prepared for that, and for the men too, for the Black men too. But I also think in this generation, we get to be a little bit softer. Yeah. Because we have more resources. We have more like ability to kind of keep them safe than I think our parents had prior to us. And so I definitely am of the soft life. Yeah. Like, they gonna get a little late for me, go out. Yeah. No, but I think
I'm getting there late.
In general, I think when you're talking about kids, it's just never necessary to be harsh with them. You could be firm, but you don't need to be harsh. You really can soft life kids into being amazing people. Yeah. The idea that they got to struggle, my kid gonna work for everything they get. No. If I end up being a millionaire, which I feel like, let me manifest it. When I end up being a millionaire, my kids really could get whatever they want. The grade's good. Daddy, I need $300. Here you go. Basically. Like, Hillary Banks me, please.
I didn't get in, like, where did I learn about manifesting? Speaking of that, I don't know. That came late for me. I wasn't doing that until literally last year.
Really?
Yeah.
You never made like a vision board or anything?
I mean, I would. But I wouldn't be like, I was very controlling in my career. I would make one because people would be like, you should make a vision board. And I'd be like, cool. So I would make one, but I wouldn't be like, I'm finna like look at it. I'd be like, all right, I made one, stuck it up on the wall. We out here. And like still be like, it's not working. Like, I didn't really understand it until last year. I can't remember how or who introduced me to it. I don't know, because I wasn't doing that at all. And it was introduced to me a lot by a couple of my friends. They would be like, oh, you need to like envision or like believe you're in a certain space and like really be at ease that that's going to be. And I'd be like, I am doing that. And they'd be like, but
you got to like
not
journal
so much.
it and chant it. And,
Black moms would be like, write it down and put it in the freezer.
Yep.
And I'd be like, my freezer is full of paper and none of them are working. Like, at this point, it's unsanitary. Do you like, I don't know. I've frozen
paper in there with the chicken.
Right. And then open it. It was like a car. And they're like, I mean, I don't know. You know
Do you
what?
ever read your journal?
This is how I got on it.
Okay.
Literally TikTok.
Yeah. TikTok teaches you everything.
When we were in pandemic, there was literally, guys, I don't know how everybody else's life was, but I lost it. Yeah. Because I was out in these streets. When they said we couldn't go outside for real, like I mean for real. Because at first I was like, cool, I'm gonna just be out here anyway.
Yeah. But then it wasn't nowhere to go.
Then it wasn't nobody out there.
There was literally no one
out there. But
they was like, you could be out here. You could be the only one out here.
I think, I don't know. I saw something on there and this girl was like, she posted like, manifest your dream apartment. Or something. And that was right around the time when I was like, I do want to live by myself. That is something that I, like after the pandemic, I was like, that is something that I would like to experience. Yeah. My own energy and my own space.
That's healing too.
Right.
Yeah.
So I saw her post about that and I wrote something to her being like, oh, I can't wait to get a space like this and be able to design it. She's like, manifest it. Mm-hmm. And then it seemed like, the TikTok would be like, cool, now we're finna just show you a whole bunch of studio apartments with plants in them.
I feel like if you say it out loud, Apple just be like, okay, she wants this. And then it just appears.
I did, but I literally manifested my apartment. It worked. The entire pandemic, I just was envisioning what I wanted my studio to look like and what I wanted my space to look like and what plants I wanted to buy and stuff. And like, I would like all that shit on TikTok and then just, I don't know, you just think about it every day and you just believe it. And it gave me peace. And then eventually I had it.
So you can actually be like, so I sometimes will look at the like horoscope stuff on Twitter and they will tell you when it's a good time to manifest, honey. During the full moons and
tarot card readings. Yeah, got me in a chokehold. For real, I'll be on there like, girl, you knew my life.
Wait, what is this?
This is like, it's 4 zodiacs, but they read what supposedly is supposed to be happening in your zodiac life for that month. And then I found this lady who it's crazy.
They be spot on.
She be spot on.
They be really
like literally low key. I'd be like, get out of my apartment. Bitch.
They
like,
literally, I read it one time last year. And they said that I was going viral. And then one of my videos I think it's got like 8.5 million views at this point. Like,
well, at this point, they're gonna have to create a case because they keep on saying I'm about to pop off.
Oh no!
And if a bitch don't pop off, I'm coming for you, Queen Amara.
Oh wait, you about to blow up? They mean
they be like,
your time is here. Okay. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, they're like this is stop worrying. This is the vibe. Like you're getting ready to be. And then she'll be like, I know you sitting around being like, okay, where is it?
When is it? Yeah.
And she's like, yeah, just you in it.
We're
like
on a path of ascension.
Like living it. But literally, she was on point though, because I think I like right before I booked the show, she literally was like, it's delayed, but there's something that you got to learn.
Yeah.
And what I had to learn was so bananas.
What did you have to learn?
Because I didn't see it. Like everything is a journey. Like you be like, I'm healed. I'm ready. Like, you ever have like, I'm like, okay, I learned this. I'm healed. I'm out here. And then boom, they take you to the graveyard again. Yeah. And then you be like, what's that? What's that in the corner? Yeah. And then they stand up and you like, hi! But I had to learn that I was a people fucking pleaser.
Oh. Ooh,
and that I was afraid of conflict and afraid of being disliked. And I was too nice to everybody. And that was something I couldn't carry with me in this next level of this career.
You definitely cannot.
And there were defined moments that I saw in the graveyard that I was like, see, that's why that happens. And I found out why. Due to the fact that I was court ordered into anger management, I know what I'm capable of. So I was always very afraid of conflict. That maybe people could be literally saying something to me that's off the chain. Because in the comedy community, we off
part
the chain.
Of the course, yeah.
But, I would avoid it. And I would be one of these people that when I'm out, I am genuinely like, hey. Yeah. And I want to literally connect with people. But I wasn't paying attention that there were people that were literally not feeling that same way about me.
Yeah.
And I was befriending way too many scammery.
Scamming?
Well, just not real friends. I was keeping certain things around me that I think the universe was like, you can't take this with you. This is not going to be the vibe for you. And you also need to open your eyes that not everybody is like you.
Yeah.
You got to be mad careful outside. Like, in other words, they was like, chill on a drinking around this person.
Yeah.
Chill on a who you tell this to. Chill on a who you trying to key with.
Yes.
Like, you need to be like outside. Like,
this is very much why I'm a no new friends type of bitch.
I wasn't.
I just am very like, because I think it's really hard to read people's energy the first time you meet them. But I also think that at this age, like, we have such a specific thing that we need in companionship, whether that's platonic or romantic. You really don't find it very often. Like, I just don't find that I mesh with people enough to want to keep them in my circle.
At the same time, you can't manifest the things you want when you have the wrong energy around you.
You can't, yeah.
I didn't know that though.
Yeah.
I was out here being like, trying to manifest stuff or being around people that was like negative thinking about me or negative thinking in general.
Oh yeah, you gotta do a protection spell.
You know what I'm saying? I was like around people that would be literally looking at me being like, oh yeah, girl, and then not really
shady.
You know?
Yeah.
And then I would feel that energy circling back to my little And then I will overthink it and be like, well, maybe they're not. Instead of me being like, this bitch ain't.
No, get you some no new friends energy.
Oh, it's there now.
Yeah.
Now it's too damn good. A bitch out here playing the game.
That's the best way to live.
Hey, how's it going? I'm like at a
peace.
Church. Peace be with you. And then turn around being like, I'll bust her goddamn. I'll bust Sister Patterson.
Oh my God.
No, I'm kidding. No, I mean, it's the industry. LA. Let me tell you something that's wild about LA and manifesting and why I don't go out as much as I used to. Because LA, it's not a lot of real connections. I didn't realize that until I healed. You only gonna find these many real people that you gonna connect with. It's a very small amount. Like, I'm in the industry too, so you out in the comedy club. Have you ever, okay, I don't know if you've experienced this. I have. You go out and you literally having a conversation with somebody and you like, they body ain't even in there.
Oh,
this bitch is just talking. This ain't even her real soul.
Yeah.
Why am I at this event? Everybody's
talking.
a persona.
Yeah.
You real and you like, yeah, girl, so today.
You talking to somebody and they looking around the room to
it ain't
see
even
who
they gotta
else
be
is.
looking around. They just talking to be talking, not talking to hear you and connect.
Yeah.
And so that energy is weird. It's like a lot of people are just like I call them like the Sims. We just out here as characters being like, this is what I'm saying at this point. You know, and then but if you around a lot of that basically, and I started noticing that and being like, in order for you to stay on this path, of manifesting the things you want and staying in this clear energy of where you are, you can't poison your energy with these robots.
You really can't.
On a regular. Like,
but that's that like learning the same lesson over and over again. That's like the universe saying, okay, you need to like clear out your path a little bit. It's too many people on the trail. And when that happens, it's really good to be able to say, okay, you know what? This energy is no longer serving me, and then move around it.
That's how I feel about Instagram.
That's a healed response.
I don't never post. Like, somebody asked me the other day, they was like, oh, you didn't post about the show yet. And I was like, I don't need anybody to know what's going on until it come out. When it come out, then I'll be like, here go to...
I wouldn't post about it either. No.
I feel like it's an overshare.
Yeah.
And I don't trust y'all. So
I just want to protect my
I want to protect my peace.
And my energy. Like, I'm totally with you on that. I definitely am not a person who likes to share anything before it happens. I totally feel
Oh, yeah. I'd rather y'all think I'm failing and I'm eating beans out of can.
Tuna out of a bag.
I literally, and my mom told me that was gonna happen once I healed. She was like, after a while, you're not gonna care what nobody think. And like in LA, ego driven wise, you kind of almost have this thing where I haven't posted in a while. Everyone probably thinks I'm sad and down and out, but it's fun because when you go outside and they think you sad, you like, damn, these
Who
niggas.
thinking you sad, girl?
Like, you talk to people, they like I was telling you, my ex was like, you ain't been posting in a while. You ready to come back to hang out with me? Your man probably left you.
Please get out my business.
People assume that you are not doing well by how you post.
Do. Because people think social media is like
the end all be all.
It is real. It
you
is
somewhere
life.
manifesting
This
to come up.
true.
And they like, she eating beans out of can.
Yes, broke bitch. They really be trying to drag you and you just kind of be like,
what?
I'm living my life. Chill.
Crazy. A mess. Yeah. But like manifesting, I think, worked for me when I started learning how like my healing process and who I need to be around and how much I'm gonna share and what I'm not gonna share.
So with manifesting too, like Oprah said, you have to let things go. So you gotta manifest it and you gotta let it go. There's something called polarity, and the more you're like pulling for something to happen, the farther the further it gets away from you. Yeah. But when you manifest and let it go, it gives space for you to attract it. Oh, yeah. Like, you have to, like, let things go, though. Because that hope, that, like, waiting for something to happen, a watch pot ain't gonna boil. I know. It's never gonna happen if you're just wishing and hoping and praying.
Low-key, it's annoying as fuck.
It's annoying as fuck. But the moment you, like, that's why I will always be like, you gotta focus on yourself as far as, like, dating is concerned. Yeah. Because when you are so focused on gotta find a partner, and that's like the only thing that you care about, you could find a partner. It ain't gonna be the partner you want or the one that's
I was just about to be like, I don't know.
Yeah,
bitch. The fish in the water is bad.
Yes. But when you feel like you're constantly like when I was on dating apps and I would constantly meet like loser after loser after loser, I just would delete the app.
I don't think
This
it's
ain't the
nothing to do with you.
time.
I just think it's weird out there.
It is, but I
that's
also
another
just think,
day. That's another day.
But I
That's
think when
another
you're
day.
not getting what you want in life, it's okay to like be still.
That's what I was
and set
saying.
it down for a moment. Yeah,
You got to be
have
on the
let
edge of the fucking
go.
cliff
Yeah,
for the manifestation and be like, hold on, don't
you
jump.
gotta let go.
You get the call.
It's a real
So
struggle type
ghetto.
of situation. Yeah, but once you let it go, like once you start the free fall, which is kind of what I feel like I'm in
Yeah.
right now. When you start the free fall, you start to get parachute after parachute after parachute. Things just come in to
Yeah.
pick you up. It's amazing.
I'm out here in that don't care season.
Yeah. I feel like I'm
I don't
kind
know
of
if
in a
that's a good or a
similar-
bad thing, but I'm out there with the like.
You
I don't
just
give a fuck.
doing you feel aligned in the decisions that you're making, and you're living your life according to what you feel like you want to do.
I don't really give a fuck what nobody think of me now.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck about like
Growth.
I'll be at work and they be like, well, I'll be like, that's crazy. Like I'm
Yeah.
definitely in my that's crazy.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I feel like the healing that I've done for me and the security that I know that the secure place that I know that I'm in now as a woman. When people be wilding or things don't be going a certain way, I'll be like, what's wrong with them?
Mm-hmm. You know what else be helping with that?
I'll be like, I gotta get out of here.
Ashwagandha.
Di-
Girl, I don't care
I ain't got
about
nothing to throw. But thank you, TikTok. What is in that?
Ashwagandha is a miracle drug, people. Ashwagandha is a miracle. Like,
What is in it?
baby, I be really struggling. Like I had a moment these last few weeks where it was rough because I was grieving
Right.
leaving the job. But for the most part, I really just be so zen. Like this
Bitch,
ashwagandha and my sleep
This
be
shit
amazing.
is.
Yeah.
I told my mom about it. She's like, "What? What it is? What's it called?" Because you like something from Africa. It's a Kunta Kinte. I've been taking that. It's crazy. No, it's
so good.
it's bizarre
I
good.
kind of feel like I'm about to be one of them.
That's why
hippie-
women ain't dating.
Yeah,
No,
because we just
we all
like,
on that
we
shit.
really just all
You
like
pop one of
herbals.
those and be like, I don't give a fuck.
I'm good.
You smoke weed on
That
top of
and
that.
rose toys.
You in your apartment like floating around.
Catatonic.
You remember that episode of The Simpsons when Mr. Burns, he was what was it when he was floating around?
I don't know. I only watched.
He was real
a couple
zen.
seasons.
Like somebody tell me in the comments. I don't remember what that
we
was.
need to know
but
what that episode was.
It was so wild, but that's how you feel on it. You be
Ashwagandha
like,
really be having you straight chilling.
yeah, that's how you manifest.
That's how you manifest. You really got to get to a place where your medicals, your herbals are matching up with your energy.
and I
or
don't want to
matching
be
up
like
with
you
your
got to be
desires.
on something to manifest.
No, I'm
But I-
speaking. No.
Yes. I was like, that episode is how you be in your apartment. Like, yes, everything's beautiful. It's crazy.
It's really crazy.
But
no, but you don't have to be on drugs to manifest.
well,
I'm
it's
just
a
saying,
vitamin. It's not
It's
necessarily
a vitamin.
drug.
Yeah,
But I
it's-
think that the pressure and everything that we have
Yeah.
in our lives, it's like people take vitamins for anything. Take a vitamin C, bitch. The same thing.
I take vitamin C and
Yeah.
hyaluronic acid. It's great
Yeah.
for your skin. It makes your
Probiotics.
skin like amazing.
Yeah,
And I take
probiotics,
probiotics. Yes, I want to be one of those people though, like a hippie. I'm a vegan already. I want to be like a hippie vegan. I'm taking like all these vitamins and like growing
Literally, that's where I'm headed.
vegetables in my yard and like I just kind of
When shit don't be working out, I'll be like, well, this was a great experience.
Yeah.
Pow down and
Namaste.
shit.
Yes.
They like, what? Like, I just popped two of these.
I know.
Didn't even hear what you said.
Yes,
I love you.
It's fine.
Ride out on the
like,
scooter.
Literally, you just be like, it's all good, boo. It's okay. I just don't have the energy to be negative about it.
I mean, I feel like I'm in this space now where it's bigger than manifestation for me. I feel like now it's like I've been through so much and I've overcome so much and I've learned from the stillness that now it's just like, what's gonna go wrong unless you get sick?
But not even what's going to go wrong.
Because having health to me and being able to like eat. Okay, so you lose the job. Okay, so the guy didn't work out. Okay,
it's
so you
just
didn't book
knowing
it.
you're going to be okay regardless.
Right.
It's
just
literally coming to the place where it's like nothing is too big for me to overcome at this point. Like I'm going to be fine regardless.
You're like,
and that's where the meditation comes in. Is it just says, okay, in this moment, I have all these major things looming in the background, but in this current moment that I'm in, I'm safe. I'm calm. I'm like warm. I have food if I want it. Like it's really bringing yourself over and over and over again back to the present moment.
It's a deep moment when you didn't pay your rent and you take a deep breath in your apartment and be like, I'm living my
baby
best life. That's crazy, but
my student loan balance, like, good luck, guys. You're never fucking getting this shit from me.
I forgave myself.
I forgave myself a long time ago. I don't. They behind. They need to talk to God about that because
I also be on my what is it? Your credit card. I'll be on there like dispute. And they'd be like, how? I'd be like, because I was underage and didn't know.
Like, literally, I just, especially for student loans, I know so many people who feel so, like, overwhelmed by the giantness of their student loans.
I was at one point. I think they took man off. But I think they was like, she ain't.
It's never happening. And
she didn't send 3 letters being like,
exactly. I don't feel bad about it. Why the fuck would you let an 18-year-old borrow money for college?
There's
like,
a thing going on with that right now.
Concept of what you're doing when you're that age. But also, I just think the practice in general is so predatory. No, I'm not giving y'all that money back. Fuck y'all.
I'm about to manifest.
Especially not because y'all not, like, it would be different if we had universal health care and y'all wouldn't allow
it's wackier. That's another episode, but it's real wacky.
It's real wacky. Y'all allow these student loan companies to charge astronomical interest. I saw this girl say she was paying on her student loans for like 10 years and she had paid $100,000 on a $100,000 bill and she still owed $120,000.
No, here's the thing. I will dispute it.
Yeah. It is what it is.
Even if it was me.
Fine. We're not going to go into fucking bankruptcy because I didn't pay my student loans.
Right. I'm not.
Yeah. The country, I mean. I'm fine.
Crazy.
They'll be fine.
But I think learning, manifestation is still kind of a thing. I hate Abraham Hicks. I don't say I hate. But I can't get
you keep bringing her out. I don't be knowing who she is.
That's a big manifestation thing.
I'm not going to.
And a lot of it that she does say is what you should be doing, but it drives me crazy because, like, I don't know. It's just the way she does it. She's like, you're not having a problem. Your brain is telling you have a problem. And you think there's a problem. When you really should just be like, everything's fine. Everything's going to be fine. I'm fine. We're all fine. Money's going to come to me easily. You're like, bitch, I'm out here.
Just shut up. You're like, you're annoying.
The Uber was $3,000. Like,
literally, the Ubers be so expensive right now. But everything be expensive. I went and got some ramen the other day and it was like $1.69. Why is ramen so expensive? I remember ramen used to be 30 cents.
Oh, really? It was
hella cheap. Why are y'all charging $1 and something for some ramen?
I don't know what's going on outside.
Really annoying. I was at Whole Foods today and there was peanut butter and it was like fancy, but they had peanut butter for $28. What the fuck kind of peanuts are these? $28 peanuts?
Oh, you were at
peanut butter? I was at Whole Foods.
You know, they be in there on some other shit.
They like, y'all there must be like diamond flecks or like
it was
gold,
made by the hands of
what? Who did Jesus make this? Like why is this peanut butter $28?
Whole Foods be tripping though.
They be clowning.
If you voluntarily go in there, you know what's up. You know it's getting ready to go down. You getting ready to get raped out of your wallet. Hand over your shit. Like they. I remember one time
stuff from Amazon.
Oof. Yeah. I went in there once. I've only shopped there one time.
Really?
Yeah. And the only reason why is because I was working for Instacart. I would never even went there because I knew it wasn't for me. I knew I was outside of my food bracket. So the thing
is, vegan. There's a lot of vegan stuff at Whole Foods that you don't find at other places.
I just bought some grapes and something else and it was $80. And I was like, I ain't never coming back.
You definitely spent 3 digits.
It's crazy.
5 digits actually.
Crazy. But circling back, like I feel like I say it all ties together. And in order for one or the other that we mentioned to work, you got to start with the peace and the healing.
You got to start with the peace and the healing. Then you do the manifestation piece or the meditation piece. And then you do the manifestation. Yeah. And you write your manifestations and you put them on a vision board and you say them out loud and you think about them over and over again when you dream. I put a car on a SUV on my vision board last year. I failed
my vision board this year. I had a vision board party and just didn't do my vision board.
Damn. You can still do it. You can do it on Canva.
I did it on Pinterest.
Okay.
But it's not something that I like see out, then I probably need to put it up somewhere. No, my vision board is
actually the screensaver on my phone.
Okay.
Yeah, so every time I open my phone, I see my vision board. But I put my one for last year on my computer and I put an SUV on there. And I only put the SUV because my family came to visit and I could not fit them in my Mini Cooper.
Okay.
I got an SUV like a month and a half later.
Yeah.
I took my car to get it fixed and they was like, it's too many things, like to get body work done. And I was going to go through my insurance and they were like, this is a piece of shit. We're going to give you a check.
Cooper, the Mini Cooper.
I
hear those.
They
hear
gave
that
me
a lot.
Check, a huge check for a very old beat up car. And I was just like, oh, that was, because there's no cars available.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, there's no cars. And so if your car is like totaled, they're like, yeah, we'll buy this from you. It's almost like they're getting over on you.
I know. You were like, what's going on?
I was like, okay, I'll get a new car. My car no like $30.
I put a Tesla on mine.
Yes.
And I want a loft apartment.
I would switch from a Tesla.
Yeah.
Elon, well, first of all, they just keep like crashing on the road and killing people.
What is going on?
Yeah, I wouldn't
you
buy
ain't
one of
not.
those.
You ain't lying.
Yeah, they
I'll be trying to figure out what
them and the fucking trains are really out of control. But also
not in the
Elon,
trains.
like,
Well, I
Elon-
think also people drive bananas.
they do.
Because when I'm in a Tesla Uber situation, I'll be like, you get in and be like, hey, thank you.
girl, get on.
You ain't even put
Get
your
on Tesla
seatbelt
TikTok
on.
and just see what the people who have Teslas are saying about Teslas.
Like, why are they driving
Maybe you
like
want like a
this?
Lexus or like a Mercedes or something. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe we just. But
I was
also,
thinking like
Elon
if the zombies
is,
come, do I want an electric car?
Get a Prius.
It might not be the vibe.
Elon is his company, I should say, is currently being sued. I want
They
to say
always
Northern
being
California
sued.
for racial discrimination. Yeah,
That sounds about right.
So I just
He don't seem stable.
I wouldn't.
I think the
Get a
TikTok,
Tesla.
I mean the Twitter thing made me be like, he not doing okay.
And baby, the way them muted tweets don't be muted.
What muted
Like
tweets?
you used to be able to mute tweets or mute words on Twitter so you didn't see certain stuff, so you wouldn't like catch spoilers for your favorite shows or a conversation.
Oh, I didn't know.
Like you comment on something and then a million people comment under you and you keep getting notifications. You
Yeah.
could mute it so you wouldn't keep getting notifications. No. Mute button just don't work. Mute button
What?
don't work. The timeline be all out of order. It's like, Elon, please.
I'm kind of getting over social media in a way. It's like
I'll
I don't
never be
know.
over
I'm
Twitter.
slowly being like, I don't know.
I'll never be over Twitter.
Really?
Twitter is my favorite place. I love
Yeah,
Twitter.
I don't be there that much.
Twitter is funny as fuck to me because I feel like things go viral on Twitter first and then they go viral on the other social media apps.
True. That's the
Yeah.
best way to get your news.
Yeah. We be really like talking about shit on Twitter for 2 or 3 weeks and then it goes viral on Instagram
That's
or
true.
TikTok. Yeah.
Yeah. That's where I get my news mostly.
Yeah. You get a lot of information. Plus you follow your politicians and you know,
Mhm.
shit like that.
Mhm.
LA Times, whatever.
I mean, I guess how do we want to end this for the girls?
I would say that the goal for your life is to find your peace in as many ways and as often as you can. And if you are finding that there are things in your life that are big that are disrupting your peace, it is time for you to start manifesting a different life for yourself.
Mhm.
Because when I started my leave at the beginning of last year, I was in such a broken place and I had no idea what I was going to do. And so I spent the year focused on just kind of healing
Mhm.
and manifesting different. And I didn't know exactly what that looked like, but just something else. Because what I was doing was really ruining me mentally. And things just kind of started to fall into place. Kind of sat still, got to healing, got to manifesting and meditating, and things just went the way that they needed to go. So,
Keyword stillness.
Stillness.
I think if you were somebody like me, because I was a busybody, my advice would be like, because pandemic made me stand still. Bitch was moving too much. But I think my mom always tells me, take a look at yourself in the mirror. You gotta take a good look at what you want out of life.
Reflect.
If you don't really know what you're manifesting or what you're healing for if you don't take a really good look at who you are and what you actually want for you out of your life. That I think that's like one of the biggest steps. Once you do that, all that shit's gonna fall into place.
All of it will fall in place. That moment of like reflection of saying, okay, what did I do wrong here? What can I do differently going forward? That really does change your life. Like, it's so important to be able to look at yourself, not necessarily with a critical lens, but with a lens for improvement so that you can ascend.
Yeah.
That's all we all want to do is ascend. I just want to get to the fun part. The fun part is at the top.
And just know that it don't matter what nobody else think. What you want out of life. And that's been another episode of The Girls.
The Girls Want to Know.
Want to know, bitch.
Follow us on Instagram, on YouTube. What else we got?
Just Instagram and YouTube. But
okay, so yeah, follow
we
us
gonna
on
get all
Instagram
those
and
other
we gonna
ones
get it all set up
soon. Leave comments. Let us know what your thoughts are about today's episode and advice if you want to give us some. All
and
right.
also if you want advice from us, because we are two very
There
wise
you
women.
go.
Thanks for watching, Boost.
Keep healing.